Daughters of this earthly plane, it's time for you to tap in into God's energy. Daughters on this earthly plane, it's time for you to tap in into God's energy. Hello, my name is Ishamina, and welcome to my podcast. And today, we're going to go over and talk about the energy, the feminine energy, the energy that God put in women. And I want to talk about this today because let me see how to put this. There are a lot of women living out of order. Now, on this physical plane, you have a choice to do and to live and to be as we choose. But the divine being of oneself is out of order. And we all have a lot of work to do. Okay, so the divine being of a feminine's energy is to be one with God, one with the universe, one with love, one with compassion, one with nurturing, one with understanding. And a lot of us in our feminine energy have lost our way due to being hurt, being misunderstood, being abused, being used. And we often take the power that the Creator, that God put within us, and put it on the shelf. We put this energy on the shelf and we turn into the energy and the frequency of what we are receiving. Then from what we are receiving, we then become what we get. And for simpler terms, for example, when a woman is in her femininity and she goes out in her woman power and she's in the world existing, a lot of times if people aren't tapped into their own personal God power, a lot of times those people will then misuse the power that God has given them. Okay? And once they misuse the power that God has giving them, amongst the feminine energy then, the feminine energy then manifests its own version of what it has been received. The feminine energy are the copiers. The feminine energy is the fax machine. The feminine energy is the manifestation. When a woman is moving in her feminine energy, she is reproducing. This can go on the spectrum of reproducing children, reproducing abundance, reproducing happiness, reproducing love, reproducing joy. We are the system's multiplier. That's why you see a lot of women who have been hurt. They turn into the actions of the people who have hurt them. And then it becomes, if they can do it, why can't I do it? If they can move this way, why can't I move this way? If they can dish it out, I can dish it out too. Then it becomes an energy frequency of being in the same playing field, being in the same frequency, being in the same energy source. So if you're in the same energy source of the thing that has hurt you, what do you think that's going to manifest? Okay? For example, let's just say a woman is living her life. She enters this world and moves, quote unquote, accordingly. Okay? She moves accordingly. She loves what she has to do. She loves who she loves. She's, to her, in a healthy relationship. But on the other end, she is in control of the other person's actions. She isn't in control of the love situation that she thought she was in. So, by her not being in control, the other side of that relationship is doing exactly what they please to do. They're doing exactly what they please to do. They're doing exactly what their ego calls them to do. They're doing exactly what their ego calls them to do. And in return, the feminine energy then gets hurt. The feminine energy gets hurt to the point where she then puts up an energy source, because we are the fax machines. She puts up an energy source that matches the ego of the masculinity. And she turns it on for protection. So now, the softness that she once held, the love that's inside of her heart, the compassion that she has to give, the understanding that she has within her, the knowledge, the God-like wisdom that she has from the Most High, has now turned off. It has now turned off because she is in the energy source of masculinity, of egotistical masculinity. And we're going to go get to that subject another time. We're talking about the ladies right now. And once she starts doing that, the power of her femininity becomes diminished. The insight of God's wisdom becomes obsolete. Because now we're on the same we on the same playing field as the egotistical masculine energy that you receive. And now those two energies are fighting amongst each other. There is no room for growth. There is no room for maturity. There is no room for being in the completion of where God created you. And it takes us out of that God power, like that goddess, like that oracle, like energy that we all have the ability to tap in and possess. But you can't tap in and possess that energy becoming the same energy that have hurt you. And a lot of women, a lot of feminine energy fall victim to this tag team race of of uh, of get like me. Live in the hood, you know what get like me means. When you're constantly in this race of get like me, there isn't any room for the God presence that's inside of you to step in and to guide your feminine light in that way. Because what people of the male and female have to understand that we all was equipped with both energies to survive here. That's why you see some women or some people who are within their feminine energy and they look feminine, they talk feminine, they move feminine, but their energy and the things that they display can be consumed to be masculine. And understand those masculine traits appear for that feminine energy to survive properly here. See, when God put us here, He put both the feminine energy and the masculine energy to correlate within oneself, to be the completion of the God-like presence. Because if God is all things, if God is omnipresent, God has to be both masculine and feminine for even the feminine partner, the woman, the goddess to even exist. If the feminine energy was not in God, the feminine energy would not exist here. Understand? So when the feminine energy does not receive the divine masculinity that is needed for the feminine energy to thrive here and to grow here and to be abundant here, the feminine energy has the power to adapt its own personal being into what they are missing and lacking. So then it becomes, on the other aspect of the spectrum, it becomes a tug of war of being of whose energy is stronger, whose energy whose energy is stronger, whose energy can stand the test of time. Because the feminine energy has been abused for so long. That aspect of God has been mistreated for so long. The feminine energy is now adapting to its environment. It's becoming its environment. So if the feminine energy is becoming its environment that damaged them, that feminine energy is way out of line to where in God's purpose and God's light. The masculinity is way out of line for God's purpose and God's light. Because the masculinity is supposed to protect, the feminine energy. That's why the masculine energy is much stronger than the feminine energy here. It has a physical duty here to protect the feminine aspect here. But somehow, we have been misguided. Okay? The masculine energy not only is physically stronger than the feminine energy, it sometimes displays its strength and power over the feminine energy. And that is not why God placed that physical power in position in the masculine being. The masculine being is here to protect. The masculine being is here to make sure the feminine being has enough space, enough room, the correct energy to procreate. Like I said in the beginning, we are the fax machines. To be abundant in God's energy. And how is the feminine energy abundant in God's energy? The masculine, the power in the masculinity is supposed to protect the feminine energy, and the essence of the feminine energy being able to be free and to be loved and be unconditionally accepted so they can move into God's plan of their divinity. So they can seek the wisdom of God here. So they can move in their divine motherhood here. So they can be safe in their love here. But we all understand and know that the safety and the love that the feminine energy has been erased numerous of times, over and over again. The power of the masculinity, of the ego, the power of the egotistical masculinity has seen the love that the divine put in, that God put in the feminine energy as being weak. Make no mistake, as being weak. Because when you love on that frequency, when you love to that, on that energy, that love will have you sacrificing pieces of your being. The love is the biggest plan. That love has you sacrificing your wants, and because you need what you need, but it has you sacrificing your wants. It has you sacrifice just on the strength and the sakeness of love. That's why God permitted the woman to be the barriers of this world, to be the mothers, to be the door between the divine energy and this physical realm. Because no matter what you feel about a woman, or how you feel for the feminine energy, or how you despise the femininity aspects of a woman, you have to get in this physical realm through a woman. It doesn't mean that woman is smart. It doesn't mean that woman is right. It doesn't mean that woman is above all things. It doesn't mean that woman is it doesn't mean that woman is in a higher position than you, but understand and respect the position that God put women in. So until that position is respected, until the feminine aspect of God is respected, the feminine energy on this physical realm will always be out of balance. Always. It's going to be a never ending cycle. It's going to be a never ending cycle. It doesn't matter how much money women make. It doesn't matter how much money the men make. It doesn't matter what women look like this. It doesn't matter what the man look like. It doesn't matter where the woman stay. It don't matter what the man stay. If we cannot get out of this power struggle of destruction, being against one another, and being enemies towards one another, playing get like me energy to one another, we will never get to the space where we're supposed to be here. We will never get to that space. And by us never being in that space, it changes the whole dynamic of our lives. It changes the dynamic of our families. It changes the dynamic of our communities. It changes the dynamic of our family trees and everything else, because we have to understand, even in our community. What I mean our community, the black community, the melanated community, the native community, the originators of this land. What we have to understand as people is the systematic constructs that society places on the world here is far removed from the practices that we had previously when it comes to the dynamics of us being and living together. It is totally different. So those who know, being us, being who we are, being us, being who we are, and we implement and we strive and we try to adapt, and we make it the first point to adapt to the systems and the customs of the other side. It is a struggle for us. We as a people did not come from that construct. That construct was placed on us. We came from a construct of royalty. We came from a construct of divinity. We were honorable in the community. The women were guarded like treasures, like treasures in a library. A woman was able to walk amongst amongst society and be protected. Let's revert back to what I said before, because that woman is the gateway to this physical realm. So if the woman is the gateway to the physical realm, and the woman is the fax machine on this physical realm, and then you misuse the fax machine, you damage the woman's energy is damaged, because the power that God placed in you to protect the women is now the power that you use against the women. What do you think the women are going to produce? We are the procreators. We give life. We give birth. We birth things. Whether if you're birthing a baby or a business or an energy field or a love energy, women are the birthers. That is our duty here. So those constructs make it difficult for us in these relationships that we are adhering to, because unbeknownst to us and our DNA, it's always off. It's never right. Something is wrong. No, God didn't put me here for this. I know God didn't put me here for this. Why are you treating me like this? Yeah, you have physical power over me, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to use your physical power against me. And then the women start, okay, well, I'm going to turn on my masculine energy to combat the egotistical energy that you're getting, that I'm getting from you. I have to turn that on in order for me to stay here. I have to turn that on in order for me to live in this society. I have to turn that on in order for me to be okay. Because this society has let me know over and over and time and time and time and time and time again that the love that was supposed to be in me in an abundance, the joy, the wisdom, the the gift of life that is supposed to come from me has been terrorized over and over and over and over and over again. I'm done with loving. I'm done with being compassionate. I'm done with understanding. I'm done with being this pillar of wisdom. I'm gonna get just like you. You don't care, I don't care. You, before you even think about hurting me, I'm gonna hurt you. I have to survive here. I can't survive here in the God-like energy that God placed in me, because at time and time and time and time again have showed me my love isn't appreciated here. The wisdom that I have from the Creator, from the Divine, isn't appreciated here. The harmony, the joy, the compassion that lies within me isn't appreciated here. So many times it has been taken from me. So many times it so many times that particular energy choose to break my feminine spirit. So many times that energy has has put me in a construct that God doesn't have for me. And it's uncomfortable here. I have to match this person's energy. I have to match this egotistical masculine energy in order for me to survive here. Because if I don't match this energy, I am going to leave here. Understand? Not saying that it's good, not saying that it's great, but it is a source of survival for the women energy, the feminine energy, to become, to match the masculinity energy. Now, being that we are the producers, we are the fax machines. You give us something, we gonna make it 10 times better. You give us some food, we're gonna make a meal. You give us some sperm, we're gonna make a child. You give us a safety, love, and compassion, we're gonna make your world, we're going to complete your world in the best way that we could ever imagine. That's what we are programmed to do. And a lot of women don't like that either. Why do I have to do it? Why do I have to do it? But I don't want to do it. But they not doing it. If this is not about the masculine energy, even though the masculine energy has been talked about in this show, this is just to show the difference in the roles that the feminine energy have that the masculine don't. Is the masculine able to love in its divinity? Yes. Is the masculine energy able to protect in this divinity? Yes. Is the masculine energy able to move out of its ego in this divinity? Yes. All the above. Is the masculine energy able to receive God's not the God that he wants to believe in, but the God that he was created from? Is he able to tap into that particular wisdom and do what he wants and move in a God-like manner? Yes, he can. But again, we have to understand the constructs that was put on us as a community in this society doesn't fit his divine masculinity either. It doesn't fit. That's why when the men of our community go to other communities and build life with other communities that has been bred in that construct, it's easier for them to live in this construct because the other communities have been bred in that construct for eons, for since they've been here. That was the the structure of their being when it comes to being in a relationship. So if the masculinity is just only focused on the construct that was put on them, and then they come into a facility where it's someone that looks like them in their own community, they're not going to have a good relationship. It's going to be disrupted. It's going to be difficult. It is going it's not going to end well. We were both made in divinity. We were both made in royalty. We were both made in God's like and image of creation. So if we were both made in God's image and God's creation, but the masculine energy is continuously using the construct that was put on him to break him from God's wisdom, what do you think that's going to do to the women in our community? Okay? It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard here. It's going to be hard for us to get to the place where we are, where we were born to be, fighting the constructs of 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 fighting amongst ourselves with the constructs that was placed on both of us to destroy us. Okay? The man has the seed, has the sperm, has the spark to ignite life. Yes. But when it comes to carrying and nurturing and being a human incubator for 9 months, God didn't place that duty onto men. God placed that duty onto women because women love in a certain capacity that they're able to sacrifice, put their life on hold. That is a divine gift of femininity, putting their life on hold for 9 months. Is no longer what I like to eat. It's no longer, oh, I like to drink alcohol. It's no longer, oh, I'm still smoking these cigarettes. It's no longer, oh, I like to go and party. A woman that's in her divine light and her right is going to sacrifice for 9 months to make sure that the soul and the spirit that she ushers here get ushered here in a complete oneness, get ushered here in the best place, in the best position, in the best energy source that it can be sent from through her. God gave her that role. Because best trust and believe we all would not be here if God made men, if God gave men that role, that title. We will not be here. We will not be here. There'll be so many men right up on the corner by the building in they sweatpants and they jeans and their Jordans. Man, shoot, I mean, yeah, man, I'm knocked up, man. Man, they got you too, man. Yeah, man, shoot. I was trying to, a nigga trying to go and apply for the NBA, dog. I gotta go and shoot. I gotta go and go to training. How am I going to training and I'm knocked up, dude? They gotta take this out, man. Man, I know, shoot, cause I was just thinking to myself, shoot, I, I already paid for a vacation, dude. Man, for real? Yeah, man, where you going? Shoot, I'm going to Puerto Rico. Oh, yeah, you going to Puerto Rico? Man, yeah, you know how live it get in Puerto Rico. I can't go pregnant. Oh, they gotta take this out immediately. We wouldn't be here. Trust me. Trust. we would not be here. So being that it's not that way on purpose. It's not that way not for the punishment of women. Women have the love, the power of their love is that powerful. The power of their love is that sacrificing. But until society and the community and the aspects of feminine's energy is accepted in the totality, is loved in the totality, all parts of this feminine energy, we will always be broken. You have no idea how many people, including women, how many people on this earth only look at the feminine energy as body parts, good body parts, big body parts. I never had that body part. Man, I bet that body part good, man. I think I'm gonna try. Man, don't you got a body part at home, man? Yeah, I got a body part at home, but that body part right there, man. We are not honored anymore. We are not protected in our light anymore. Our energy, our being has been reduced down to either our body parts, to women believing that they're only their body parts. So they move in the way they move. Okay, well, the world wants me to be in this way. The world wants me to be in this light. Okay, I'm gonna be the oh shoot. I'm gonna be the best one out there. Oh, this what you want from me? You want my body part? Okay. I'm gonna be the best one out here. I'm gonna give all y'all a piece of my body part. My body part is the best. I'm gonna be the best at it. It's all a form of delusion to trick you out of God's plan. So while you're getting tricked out of God's plan, you're holding on to the constructs that was placed on you. And then you wonder why. The relationship, I ain't worried about no relationship. I can't get in a relationship. Oh no, I don't want to date nobody. Oh no, I don't want to be with nobody. Oh no, I'm scared of love. The next time I get out of this relationship, girl, I'm about to go and do this and do that. I'm going to be, because there's no safety, there's no protection in the love that women have to offer. And even if we just roll back around to society, how we see the love and the women being protected here in society. Society has now conditioned that loving and protecting a woman is the stupidest thing you could possibly do. How convenient. How convenient is that for the plan? That's the plan. Why do you think the world and our community and our society hate the Russell Wilsons, but they love the Futures? Understand why they call him the Future, too. It all correlates with each other. He is a part of the plan. It isn't a coincidence that his name is Future. He's a part of the plan. He gets with Sierra. They have a child. He thought that he was going to put that same construct that I talked about in the beginning that came from where it came from. He thought he was going to put that same construct on to her, but she was aware and awakened enough in her God divinity and her wisdom that she receives from God in order for her to say, you know what? This isn't what I did. This isn't what I thought this was. For her to only move into a relationship with a man that honors and loves her the way God intended for her to be loved. Society hates that man. How crazy is that? And then we believe in God. You can't. If you're on that spectrum, if you're on that side, if you're on, oh well, Future, she's crazy for leaving Future. Future was the oh, she with Russell Wilson. Oh, he's a simp. He's a trick. No, he is playing his God-like position. He's playing the position that God put him in. He's not working on these physical constructs. He's not working on the constructs that they told you, where they told you to do, how they told you to do it, how they told you to treat women, how they told you to talk to women, how they told you to act towards women, how they told you to hurt women. He's not in that construct. He's in his God-like masculine divinity with this woman. And you see what they created? Everyone was talking about Sierra's prayer. Oh, girl, what did you pray? Oh, girl, what you pray? It wasn't about the prayer. It was about her alignment. Because it don't matter how much you pray. If you're out of alignment of the prayer that you're praying for, you're not going to receive it. It don't matter what she prayed if she was out of alignment. For example, let's just say you get Sierra's prayer. You read Sierra's prayer line for line, word for word. Every dot you got, every period you got, every T you crossed. You don't read this prayer over and over again. But in your lifestyle, that's how manifestation comes along. But we're going to talk about that in another. We can talk about that in another video, okay? So you can say this prayer all day long, but in your physical being, in the actions that you make on the day to day, if you're not moving in the energy what you want to receive, that energy is never going to come to you. You're never going to, that your prayer is not going to be answered. Sierra's prayer will not work for you if you're moving in a city girl fashion. Sierra's prayer will not work for you if you continuously doing these niggas how they do me. I mean, you can do that. You can, absolutely. You have every choice and every a will to do what you please to do here. It's called free will. But you also have to understand, when it comes to your free will, you can't be out of alignment with what you want and what you pray for and still think you're going to get what you pray for. Still think your heart can be in a certain place and you say this prayer and you think, oh, I'm going to get this because I done said it and your heart is totally off of what you want, it's not, you're not going to receive it. That's why it's so difficult for people. It just, even in the masculinity, when I'm talking about prayers and manifestation, that's why it's so difficult for people to receive the things that they want out of this life. It doesn't mean that prayer doesn't work. Doesn't mean that manifestation ain't real. But you're writing, you're invoking words that you want to cover, that you want to cover you in your life, in the way that you live, and the things that you do. But in your physical actions, what you're praying for is way out of alignment to what you're physically doing. All those things have to come together because we are on the physical plane. So no, you can say the prayer because the prayer is going to where it's going to, and it's going to come back down here, right? The prayer is going to the universe. The prayer is going to the God. The manifestation is going outside of us. But it's our job here physically to act as that prayer has been answered. Act, physical, do, work. It's up to us to act like that prayer is answered. So when you act like that prayer is answered, you're going to receive that alignment. It's going to be a door open. It's going to be the key that give you, here you go. Saying Sierra's prayer and having 3, 4, 5, 10, 50, 11 dudes on the sideline picking who you want to pick, having this one take you to concert, have this one take you to dinner, have this. Now you can do that if you choose to. You can do that, but it's not in the alignment of that prayer. When Sierra said that prayer, Sierra was already moving as a wife before she even became a wife. And what I mean, moving as a wife, does that mean she was cooking and cleaning and gave her all and made sure that, he had everything he needed? No, 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 no. That doesn't mean that. When I say she was moving as a wife, she was protecting herself as a wife. Because when you are a wife, you protect yourself. You protect yourself from the outside world. You're connected and you're married to the masculine aspect that you're married to. You're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting your marriage. So if you're protecting yourself like you're married, you're not going to be talking to a random dudes. You're not. You're not going to be giving out your number. You're not. You're not going to go on a date whoever want to go on a date. You're not. You're just not going to do it. Because your goal is to move in the alignment of what you wish. Your goal is to move in the alignment of what you deserve. Your goal is to move in the alignment of what you requested, what you prayed for. So when she moved in that alignment, her moving in that alignment made way for Russell to come and get her. She had no other distractions around her. She had nobody clouding her vision. She had no homegirls. Girl, I don't think you should talk to him because, girl, why? Because he did, and you know what he was doing. She had none of that. I'm sure it was none of that. I'm pretty positive it was none of that. She protected herself like she was married already. And when we talk about Russell prayer, because I think Russell, he was married before, if I'm not mistaken. Or I know he had a long-time girlfriend. I'm really not for sure. But he said, people always ask me, people always ask us, what did she say in her prayer? He said, people never asked me what I said in mine because I was praying too. So if he was praying for to find a woman to love her to her utmost the deservance of love, and she was praying for a man to love that would uplift her and protect her. It was no, it was no, it was absolutely no coincidence that they met, fell in love, and living this lifestyle the way that they live. Now, do I know what's going on behind doors? No. Do I know that people make up things and they show us certain things and things aren't happening and then they want us to believe certain things? Do I know that's going on? Yes. But it's something about those two that I feel that they are very authentic and genuine in their purpose of relationship. Even to the point where those who are around them observe the energy of them, and then they then find their God partner. They even talked about having like a dating show, like their own dating thing, because I believe what they have is genuine. See, when he met Sierra, Sierra had a child already. He didn't look at her as used goods. He didn't look at her as, oh, she's damaged. Oh, he didn't look at her, well, I ain't gonna mess with, I'm gonna mess with her. I ain't gonna mess, I ain't gonna pay attention to that child. No, you loved her, so you have to love him. He is an extension of his mother. He is the extension of his mother. So if he's the extension of his mother, and he done said this prayer in this alignment, he had to take the role of being the father. That was part of the prayer. That was part of the prayer. That was part of the alignment. And so many people go against that. You go against the love that God has for us to share amongst ourselves. You're going against that. We are fucked. excuse excuse my language. We are fucked. That's the plan. But if you hold on to the other constructs, they gonna tell you the plan is something totally different. You have to go with God. You have to go with love. You have to go towards that energy. You have to go towards the abundance. You have to go towards the alignment. Physically. Not just saying something and hoping it come through. No. You have to do the work physically here in order for your prayers to start working, in order for your work to come together and the God's work to come together, in order for you to receive the things that you want. Okay. So I know it went kind of sideways on my message, but sometimes I get led to go down certain areas or certain roads if it's connected to, you know, the topic that I'm talking about. But all in all, I want to thank you again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you to subscribing. Thank you for your patience. I'm going to get better about posting my podcast, but I when I speak and when I talk, to me, I feel like I'm being led. I'm not. It's not scripted, right? So I just think of a title, and then it just all comes in my mind. Like I'm just off the dome. Like I got the 16 bars off the dome. Not my friend, but it's just all off the dome. Okay, so I'm going to get better at giving you guys more material. But I just wanted to thank you ahead of time. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. I love you. Have a good one.